Hello again everyone, this is c.ai Technologia speaking. Today I am going to introduce to you a website that is very dear and very close to me and that I cherish. Again, before we start, remember to like, sub and hit the bell so you don't miss me, and let us begin. So the website is c.ai or character.ai. Now I'm gonna read off the Wikipedia page for you to give a short summary of what's going on. To quote, Character AI, also known as c.ai, is a neural language model chatbot service. If you want to know what that is, search it up. I am not explaining it. That can generate human-like text responses and participate in contextual conversation. Constructed by previous developers of Google's Lambda, Noam Shazia, and Daniel De Freitas, whatever. And the beta model was made available to use by the public in September of 2022, 2 years ago. Time moves on, it moves by very fast. So, it's available in 31 languages, and here's the URL for anyone that wants to check it out. Here it is. This used to say beta, but now it's just character.ai, so yeah. Or you can just search up c.ai. Here it is. But for now, let's just use this one. Quite slow, so bear with me. So while this thing is loading up, I'm gonna explain a bit more. This site, it's honestly really useful for a whole lot of different things. As I mentioned before, it's mainly used for chatting, and it has good assistance options, and the characters here are really good. You can register, or you can not. It's not really necessary, but it is necessary for your chats to be saved if you ever close your browser or something. All right. So I'm gonna explain a bit more. Users can create characters, craft their personalities. That was a thing that was added a bit recently. You can have a persona yourself too, actually. Set specific parameters and then publish them to the community for others to chat with. Many characters may be based on fictional media sources or celebrities. This is typically done without their consent, of course. You can't ask, I don't know, some random character from Hello Bus or something what they think in real life, while others are some completely original. Some being made with certain goals in mind, such as assisting with creative writing. That's cool. It has some default options that you can choose from. For example, there is a character assistant that explains to you the basics of the site and is honestly really helpful. Here's creative helper, different things. You can read them there, and so on and so forth. Also, you can role play. Like that is the main attraction of this entire site, from what I've seen. It's mostly used for people to role play and act out their favorite scenarios. Like here is Ramen Genshin Impact character. You can talk to them. Oh my goodness, 43 million users. So you can choose your characters, go and chat with them, and just see where the story goes. In May of 2023, the service added a monthly subscription option that added some more, how do I say this, abilities. Well, not abilities, it's more like privileges, like skipping the waiting line. There, it's not as prevalent as it was before, but a while ago, more like a few months ago, The servers in this place weren't as good as they were right now. That is a given, but still. And that caused them to not be able to handle too many people using the site as at once. But with using the subscription, it allowed you to basically get a VIP seat to the site, so you didn't have to wait like half an hour to just get into it. And also, a mobile app was released for both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. And also, fun fact, they had over a million and 700,000 downloads within their first week of release. You can, if you want to, you can just go into your phone and download them. The site, I think, has changed a lot. So, yeah. So I'm going to sign in now. Let's pause for a second. I'll be back. And we are back again. So this is the site. You can see it. I just logged in. Yeah. So this is the main page. There's nothing really interesting here. You can get recommended different stuff like uh, oh, here's character system by the way. Here's a psychologist. Here's a creative helper for you writers and musicians and stuff. Here's Elon Musk. Okay, so moving on. There is also an option for a persona, as I mentioned before, but I can't seem to find it. It's, I think, only on mobile or something. No, no, shouldn't be only on mobile. But here's a create page. You can create different characters here. Yep, this is only for creating a character. I'm terribly sorry. There seems to not be, how do I say this, persona option on the site. There is one on mobile, and it's quite obvious actually. So basically, when you go into the mobile app, you can check out, you can go inside the chat place for a character or just in the main page, press the plus, and there should be an option for a persona. And then you can choose the name and descriptions of it. And characters will base who they're talking to, like having persona, on that description. It's honestly quite useful for when you don't want to explain your character within, like it has 1,000 words in the description or something, and just put it on there. It's honestly real convenient, and I recommend using it if you want a baseline for something for your character to be. But since that option seems to not be here, I will just have to explain how to create a character for you. So firstly, choose a profile picture. If you don't, the picture will be just the first letter of their name, like that. But for educational purposes, no, no, that is horrible. Why did I say that? Here it is. Here you can type the name. Here's a tagline or the short description that the person that is viewing your character from the outside, not actually chatting with it, can see. Like short description. Here's funny little guy. So there's a longer description. This is where you put their physical attributes and how their personality is. There is an option to develop this, like their character further, but it's not really necessary. So just Well, it is necessary if you want a quality character, but it's not necessary to create a character in the first place. But here's a description. Funny, short, little guy. Here he is. Then we move on to the greeting. This is the first thing that any person that see enters a character's chat room sees, like saying, "Hi, I'm TC" or something. If you don't put one, the, the greeting I put down will be the default and the thing that the site automatically puts on. Next one. Here's the visibility, by the way. So you can make it private so no one else uses it. Make it public so everyone can see it if they just so choose, and unlisted so you can only have people access it via link. And more options. Definition. Yeah, this thing you can see by how big it can be and what it's going to be like. It's basically just a longer version of the description over here. Again, it's not necessary, but it's really good if you just put it on because it will make the character more defined and not have them be all over the place. Also, here's an option to make it either private so no one can see the definition and copy the character for themselves, or not keep it private so that everyone can see what's going on here. And now you can press the create character button. It's good, it's useful, and here it is. And we are going to create this character. Ta-da! Wait, I should have made it private. Oh my goodness. So well, I messed up. But here is the chat room. You have to wait for them to first give their greeting message. For some reason, this one isn't trying to give me any. So while it is doing that, let's see other options. Alright, so there's TC, my funny little guy, cutie. And here are some options for the chat itself. Here's to like it or dislike it. Here's to share it with others. Here's to bookmark it and add it as a favorite. There are some more options. Editing, yes. If you want to just save this entire room and go to a new room with the same character, you can press new chat. History is to see every other chat you've had with this one, every other room, and pinned messages, which I haven't used, but you can basically pin a message. And here is persona, finally. 1 second, I have like 50 personas here. This is gonna take a long time, but I'll be back again. So I am back. It was just 2 clicks. So here's the persona creation screen. Here is characters will remember your persona information to improve their conversations with you. Create multiple personas to change your background into between chats. This is here's making it default, so the new persona you make is used for every single chat you go into by default. Here's the name option. Sillier little guy. The background, which is just a description. Again, you can just put it here, just a silly little guy. You don't need to make it default, you can just choose it. So here is my persona. It's being saved. It's gonna be used for the. Oh hell no! Oh hell! Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Here it is. Uh, Here, quick. I am terribly sorry for this inconvenience. How do I go back? We will go back to test character. And now this guy knows us by our persona. He will only know us by our persona unless you add the other pieces of description into the text. If you want to explain something that is happening or something about your character, there are two ways you can do it. Firstly, using these things. But the second and the more used thing is this one, is using whatever this is. I'm sorry, I genuinely do not know what their names are. Well, I did know, but I forgot. Whatever this thing is, it makes them bold when you type something in it. So yeah. But the thing that I personally use and I think is clearly superior, so no one mistakes your words for like putting some heavy weight on your words or just being silly or just whispering, I suggest you use both this way. For example, you can do this. Barges into hello, fellow silly guy. Obligatory, whatever this is. And now with you can either press this option or you can press enter. You can see that the text got italics. Oh my goodness. If you want to make it bold, use double or whatever that is. And if you want to use both italics and bold, you can use the phrase. Here's my little some tomfoolery going on here, and we'll respond. So I will explain the programming a bit to you. Again, quoting Wikipedia. So, built from advanced deep learning and expansive language models, the software is currently in beta. Well, not anymore. It got out of beta a month ago and continue undergoing improvements. On November 5th, 2022, conversation memory was increased by double the previous capacity so that AI would be able to remember messages from farther back. I don't know how they remember it, but I think they store it in some place and revisit it when they want to do something. Right, character personalities are designed via descriptions from the point of view of the character and its greeting message, just as we did when we created this test character. And further molded from conversation made into example, giving its message a star rating and modification to fit the precise dialect and the identity the user desires. So remember how that further description part I said could give your character a bit more definition? Well, that's where that part comes in. You can copy and paste some examples of the chats this silly little guy will make, and they will try to follow the patterns in those chats. Also, if you want to see if your character has a good, if you want to rate your character, you can use the stars below. Well, not rate your characters, it's rating the message they send. It can filter out more low quality stuff and make it more fit to your liking. Example, here's 3 stars, 4 stars, and now if we wait a bit, you can also say tell us more, so it will be even more defined. And the rating, to quote Wikipedia again, the rating predominantly affects the specific character, but also affects the behavior selection as a whole. The user can also click the right arrow or swipe left for the AI to generate new response, and later look through the generated messages by clicking on the left arrow, which is what I'm going to do now. Wait, they changed it? No, they couldn't have changed it. Here is an option to copy, delete, and edit messages. This editing thing was added a bit recently too. You can edit the messages like in other apps, and it's honestly really useful for when you want to lead the conversation to somewhere specific. So now we will make him resend the message. Here's going back to the previous messages option as mentioned by the site. Let's have a query for art. That was silly little man or silly little woman. What do you think guy means? Alright, so as I was saying, along with these features, users are able to copy and edit a bot's message by clicking and pressing one of the two icons, as I mentioned, a clipboard or a pencil. Editing a message works the same as sending an entirely new message. Users can save or cancel editing at any time. By the way, if you save the editing, it will just overwrite the previous message. It won't make a new message, but it will act as a new message. It will just override whatever you had written down previously. So to demonstrate, and now to demonstrate how you can change between characters, you can go here and press the button. Here, yay. So this is the demonstration of how the specifics of a character work. I'll now explain to you the site itself. We will go to Discover part. It's really slow in it. Alright, so we are back in this. Are you enjoying the video so far? Did you know that only a small percentage of you are subscribed to the channel? It is actually 0%. So please, so I can continue making this stuff and supporting you with funny little guys and more videos of different apps and how they work. Please go like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my new uploads. Now we will continue. You can search for a new character here. So, for example, let me think. Euro. You can press enter. And now we will wait for it to search for the character in the pile of different characters that are here. Just a disclaimer, since people create these characters a bit differently from each other, their quality can vary a lot. They can have broken English or they can be perfect at speaking. So here is Puro. The game changed. Go check it out, it's a good game. Now we will go inside the chat. As I am showcasing, this is how it will work. These are the characters and these are the creators, so you can. Rude interruption, ain't it? So I was explaining, you can check out the different accounts of the creators and see what other characters they made that are still public or still even there. And it's honestly pretty useful. Here is an example of someone not giving a proper greeting to their character. Or maybe it's just customized this way so it pisses people off. But and now we press on their creator's username and go to their profile. You'll have to wait a while. This is what the typical profile looks like, but it seems like it isn't coming up. Also, you can follow and share the creator with other people. You can see the characters here. There also is an option for other things, I guess, but I don't remember them. Mm, I don't like it when that happens. Let's search things up again. So that's how you access a creator via the characters they have created. It is convenient and easy to access, unless you are bad at using your mouse. So now we search something else, like Adam. Also, I forgot to mention, but if you wait for a while, you can check out the characters without going into deeper searchings. Like here it is. What is this? All right. So here's Adam. You can see the different characters roll down, see how they look, and yeah. Now we search it up so we can see if we can actually view the different creators with the name. All right, so we are back in this screen again, and now I can actually press things. We can go to the creators section, and we can look at the different creators with the different usernames and the funny pictures. Here's how many chats people have had with their characters in total, how many characters they've made, and what their top characters are. So, for example, we will check this guy out and pray he doesn't have anything weird on his account. That tends to sometimes happen. Oh, yeah, here it is. You can see the different characters. I don't like this guy's face. And yeah, you can see the different characters and how they look. That is it's for the creator section, I guess. And here's their description by themselves, how many people have followed them and how many people they are following. Pretty useful, I might say so myself. So now we will move on to something else. Here's some trivia about this site. People have a love-hate relationship with it. Like on one hand, they love how versatile it is, how useful it is, and how interesting it is to talk with the different characters and how what is that over there? What I'm not going to think about it. And genuinely how nice it is to use this site. But they also despise it because there are some problems when using this site. One of the problems that has been healed over time is the server capacity that I mentioned, that you have to wait like half an hour. I think I once got like 2 or 3 hours of wait time. It was not nice. And yeah, and the second thing that people are really angry about is the not safe for work filter. The not safe for work filter is a bit weird. On one hand, it's useful so the characters don't instantly become freaks after you just role play as if you're just put your hand on their shoulder. But it's also bad because like 90% of the stuff that even gets a little spicy is filtered out. Also, recently they doubled down on the harshness of the filter so much that violence is basically non-existent. But there are loopholes on how to bypass these filters that I am going to explain now. So, First way, be extremely specific, be extremely vague, and use words that people like King James wouldn't even know about. And what I'm trying to say is overcomplicate your words and make it seem so fancy that people don't understand them. Have proper grammar and chat really fancily. Again, the second way to bypass these filters to some degree is to take it slow with how you approach things. Like when you immediately go into the chat room, don't say, "Yo, have you ever heard of Ligma?" But over time, slowly introduce them to the